Hi, I'm Marion Gillet. I'm the program lead for the BA Business Team Entrepreneurship, and I'm going to explain to you how both this program, the BA Business Team Entrepreneurship and the Sports Business Entrepreneurship program work, because they've got exactly the same modular structure. So maybe you've been to an open day, or you're thinking about coming to an open day, or maybe you don't quite remember how the program works and how you're learning through it. So this short video is to just explain you in as simple way as possible how the learning happens on both programs. So I'm going to talk you through on our assessment framework. So it's very simple. On Sports Business Entrepreneurship and on BA Business Team Entrepreneurship, there are 4 modules. As you can see, the Enterprising and Entrepreneurial Practice module, the Inquiry into Enterprise and Entrepreneurship, Managing My Learning and Development, and Running a Learning Organization. You take 4 modules each year, and each module is worth 30 credit. And the same modular structure is repeated in the second year and the third year. So by the time you complete your first year and you pass all your modules, you'll have a certificate in higher education. And by the time you complete your second year module, you have a diploma in higher education. By the time you complete all 4 modules in your third year, you'll graduate with a BA honours in either Business Team Entrepreneurship or Sports Business and Entrepreneurship. So as you'll see, everything looks like they're repeating, but they're not repeating exactly in the same way. And they are part of what we call modular strands. So your practice module sits in the learning by doing strand. Your inquiry module is what we call the learning from other strands, and managing my learning and development module sit in the self-leadership strand, and running a learning organization 1, 2, and 3 all sit in a team company strand. So how does it all work? So let me talk you through the assessment framework. In your team company, you'll be expected to work and collaborate with others, and use these skills to develop ventures, track performance, plan projects, and implement your team strategy. Now, a very important point here to clarify: you don't have to do all your projects with your team. However, you're expected to share what you're learning on the projects you are part of, either as an individual or maybe with other people outside the team, back to your team company. And that will be helpful for the team to learn from you how this can be applied to projects that you might be running in the team, whether you're part of those projects or not. The self-leadership strand, or the managing my learning and development modules, within this strand, you set and track your individual goals. You're looking at how you're developing as an individual, how you become more aware of what your strengths and weaknesses are, and how you need to learn to lead yourself before you lead others. Learning by doing is the key aspect of the program, and everything is very practical. In that module, you'll have to think about what opportunities are right for you, and when and how to take actions, and what competencies that you're developing through your practice, and what you might want to specialize in the future. The learning from other strands look at everything that underpins the program in terms of theory. So it's really about how you knowing what you need to learn and at what point you need to learn it. This is about you using what you've learned in the self-leadership strands, using those skills and helping you to manage that aspect of your learning, so that you can apply it to your team, you can apply it to your project, and most importantly, you can apply that to your own development. So it's in that strand, you'll be capturing knowledge from many different sources: books, mentors in residence, experts, distinguished address lectures, or lectures in the university. And you'll have to think about, okay, what do I apply to my projects? What am I learning about business, and what am I learning about myself, and how can that be applied to my team company? So basically what this demonstrated is that the modules aren't isolated, they link with each other, and what you learn in one will be something that will be useful in the other. Okay, so some examples of assessments that are part of the program and are part of helping you learn and helping us coaches and module leaders assess how you're doing. One key component is your learning contract. So this sits in the self-leadership strand. Every year, you'll be expected to set goals, and that creates accountability with your team, and that directs your learning into your practice and into your inquiry. So it sets you a direction for learning. It's a key assessment. And at the end of the year, you'll capture how much you've progressed against your objectives. And it's a similar approach with the team company. Collectively, you'll set goals and you'll be given targets to be able to direct your learning as a team and to coalesce around some clear objectives. You'll have to report back on what you're doing through actual written reports and group presentations. There are other presentations in all the other individual modules. So at different points in your journey, you'll be presenting back what you've learned from your projects and what you've learned from your inquiry in order to teach others the things that you have learned about, which is another very effective way of learning. And yet, one of the biggest assessments of this program sits in portfolios. So you have sitting across several modules, depending which program you're on. You'll be capturing what you're learning from your inquiry, what you're learning from your practice, and what you're learning as a team into portfolios. So there will be individual portfolios and sometimes team portfolios to capture your learning and to show us evidence that you're progressing on your journey. And this is quite important. Although the modular structures that underpin the program is similar year on year, you also are assessed with an increased level of expectations. So in year one, we expect things to be a bit tricky because you're adapting to something that's very new. So it's all about routine habits and experimenting so that you can get those projects off the ground. And you can only do that through getting in the habits of reflecting. And you'll start to learn how to work within and make your team work. And in the second year, you'll be used to how working in a team is actually part of your experience, and you can use these skills to develop projects either within your team or outside your team, and you'll start thinking about your specialization. By the time you get to third year, your team will be well used to working together, and you'll be able to actually push yourself further collectively and start becoming a high-performing team. And that will be because you have yourself got better at managing your learning and development and would have become a high-performing individual. And all these learning from both your individual learning and what you would have learned in being part of a team and maybe have joined others along the way, you can apply all that to grow your venture. And very importantly, a key focus for the third year is to think about, what am I going to do once I exit the program? What's my exit strategy? And you'll start thinking about that from the start of the year, so that by the time you graduate, you would have taken action to either get a job or start your own business. So why does it work? Well, all the things that you learn on the program, all the behaviors that you are adopting, the attributes that you have to both adopt and demonstrate, will help you develop your competencies. And the competencies that you develop through entrepreneurial learning sets you in really good stead to either get a job or start your own business. So as you can see on this very good graph from the Higher Education Academy, it's actually what you learn from through project is what actually makes you employable. So it's a key aspect on the program. So the program is not about necessarily setting up a business. You might do that. I'm not saying it doesn't happen. But it is through engaging into several opportunities throughout your time on the program that the learning happens, and then you discover what you really want to do. I hope this was useful. I've put a few links here with our course pages and our LinkedIn pages for both programs. They'll probably be attached to that video either in the information below, or to other informations that we will send to you. I hope this was useful. Get in touch if you've got questions, and I really hope to see you very soon on the Team Entrepreneurship Programme, or maybe on the Sports Business and Entrepreneurship Programme. Bye.